Good morning. Welcome to Rayleigh Farm and Field, and we want to show you something. We have a new addition to the family here in the garage I've been working on, and some of you may have seen our first Farmall 140, the only one we had. It's been in a lot of our films. Well, some friends of ours came over about 3 weeks ago, and they gave me another Farmall 140, and I want to show it to you, so come along. A couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, I had knee replacement, and I was doing good. And a couple of months after I had it, I was taking a planter off of my other Farmall 140 that you've probably seen on YouTube before. And friends of ours came by and saw me fighting with probably a 200-pound planter. And we always remarked how I probably need another Farmall 140 and leave the planter on one and put field cultivator sweeps on the other one, and that way you don't have to fight back and forth switching implements. 3 weeks ago, two friends of ours, a young couple that go to our church, Kelly and Jennifer Pimpleton, drove up, had a trailer, and on that trailer was another 1959 Farmall 140. Now, I know where this tractor came from. A friend of mine had it, and at one time about 10 years ago, it caught on fire. They were working on it, and the sediment bowl, they broke it accidentally, and it caught on fire and bubbled the paint on it. It didn't hurt the tractor, but it just bubbled the paint, and they primed it with gray paint and never got around to painting it again. So they brought this tractor to us, and it ran great, but I thought I saw a little water in the oil, and I want to tell you what we've been through with this old 140. It was real loud. Part of the manifold gasket was missing, and a piece of the end of the manifold, over the years without having a gasket, it had worn the manifold back, and it was loud. So we took the manifold off, got a new manifold, and while I had the manifold off, I went ahead and had the head shaved on it, and we put a new gasket on. And when we cranked it, it ran great. Had to put a new carburetor on it, and it ran great. And when I shut it off and checked the oil on it, it had water in it. It was full of water. So we thought probably we had a cracked head, and so I called a friend of mine, Chase Gamble, and his grandfather, Larry Gamble, good friends of mine, south of Birmingham at McCall. They own the company Alabama Tractor Pickers. And they had a motor in mint shape, and I want to show it to you. I drove to McCall about 2 hours from here, bought this motor, and they said it ran good. It looks like a real good engine. And we were just getting ready to put this motor in the tractor, and another friend of mine drove up that morning. He's a diesel mechanic. And he says, I want to look at this thing before you put this new motor in there. And we spent about an hour, and he took that head back off, and he cleaned it up, sanded it so he could see it real good, the metal. And he said, there's not a crack in this head. And so he said, I don't like the looks of this gasket. It looks like a cheaper gasket. And I happen to have a gasket that I'd gotten from Chase Gamble that was an original style gasket from International, a lot thicker gasket. And Kathy Bear's upset the cat's bothering him over there. But anyway, we put a heavier gasket on it, and we've not had any trouble. So there's no more water getting into the engine. The heavier gasket fixed all of that. And now I have an engine. I'll probably pickle this engine, fill it with either motor oil or something in there to preserve it, because I have two Farmalls now. But what we're going to do, we're going to restore this old tractor. Now, if a tractor's still got plenty of decent paint on it, even if it's not in real good shape paint-wise, I like to leave them alone, leave the patina on there. But this tractor needs to be painted, and so we're gonna clean it up and paint it. But I want you to listen to it. Turning the fuel on. So this is our new 140, and I'm going to use this to cultivate with, and use the other 140 to plant with. I want to show you one of the problems I was having, and this engine still has a little bit of a skip, and I haven't touched the carburetor. It probably needs an adjustment, but also we probably need points in it. This tractor's set for 10, 15 years. But I was wondering what this hole cut out in the hood was. You know, I have another Farmall, and friends of mine have Farmalls, but I've never seen one with a hole right there. And it came that way from the manufacturer. It's not something someone did later, I don't think. And then I got looking at the old carburetor. What happened, this is the old carburetor, and this piece broke off right here. It was cracked, and it was running good, and when we put everything back together, you couldn't run the engine unless you had it on choke, and the reason was this thing was partially cracked, so we had to put a new carburetor on it. But I want you to look at this carburetor. Now, a buddy of mine that knows a lot about Farmall says it's a distillate carburetor, and I don't know. Some of you may know a lot more than I do, and if you do know why this hole is here, I think maybe possibly there was a distillate fuel system, and it had another 1 gallon tank under here with a cap right there, and I just don't know, but that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. But this was just a unique looking carburetor. But I want to show you some of the parts that we've already ordered. Of course, we got to paint it, and I want to show you what we've ordered. We're going to rebuild the gearbox, steering gearbox. I've got parts for it because the steering's real loose. I've got the seats. Ordered a new steering wheel with an emblem in it, and so we're going to try to make this thing look like a new tractor when we're done with it. So my wife said every man needs 2 140s. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll keep you updated with the progress we make on the old 59 140. Thank you.